What's going on, Vanquishers? This is Charlie here. We are back with another State of the Game. As you guys clearly see, Brandon's getting himself adjusted. It's never a regular State of the Game without some technical difficulties. At least it wasn't on my part this time. I'm going to take glory on that. But welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a little bit of time that we've had updates, and I know we've been a little quiet again on our Discord channel, but I promise you guys, like always, we are working. We are busting our butt off, and our wonderful community has been helping us as well on the back end. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this actual State of the Game. We're the developers, and we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves, because typically, you know, why not, right? So again, my name is Charlie. I am the creator and one of the developers behind this wonderful project.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Jason. I'm one of the developers of Vanquishers TCG. I handle the back end. If you have any questions, I'm usually the first person you're going to reach out to, and I'll get you to the right dev. If you can't get the answer, one of our playtesters can help you out. So reach out if you have any questions, and I'm here for you guys.
Buenos dias, everybody. I am Jose, aka the Wepa Man, aka the one that knows the internet left and right, aka I don't know. I'm
He's
just saying, I
swerving
am
left
your
to right,
web.
bro. Look, he's inside the Apollo 6 right now, guys. So he's actually in this padded Apollo 6.
And I am your web and app developer.
Wepa.
Yo, what's good, Vanquishers?
Oh,
I am
yo.
DK
Hey,
Barron.
there you go.
Yo, you took like a lethal long pause right there, bro.
Oh, you know what it was? Is because I'm looking at my phone and I was
Yo.
trying to use the mouse on my phone.
Hey, B,
So
hold
it
on.
wasn't working.
Hold on. Do the thumbs up again. Do thumbs up real quick. Did it show the emoji? I think it's a single thumb. Do it sideways. Do it sideways. Did it do it? No. Oh, I thought I saw the emoji earlier. All right, guys. So, hey, welcome back. Welcome back. If you are new to the actual state of the games, this is a great time and opportunity to go ahead and get updates about the project and what we've been working on. Again, we cover our major topics, which is going to be our social media network, our web and app updates, and of course, our tabletop simulator and our physical card game updates. We got quite a few updates we want to go ahead and get you guys obviously up to speed with. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get Mr. Jason to go ahead and touch on you guys with the social media network.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Hope you're having a goodest day. So as of lately, we've been working on a whole lot of things on the back end. Lifestyle changes and things for us personally. I've moved back to Tampa, as I told you guys before, getting situated and getting things back in order here on this end for me personally. But everything seems to be lining up in a better place and getting to a good spot. If you have any orders put in on through the website, they'll all be sent out by tonight or tomorrow morning. So don't worry on that. That'll all get situated to you and sent out. We're going to start getting back into our eves and flows with the social media. So be on the lookout for posts, reshare them, send them to your friends, whoever you interact with that you might play games with, show them the game. That'd be great for us to keep growing the player base and getting more people into the game as we keep going. So social media ebbs and flows are going to keep growing again. We're going to start pushing those again and posting a bunch of stuff on there. Discord engagement. I've gotten messages from people asking, it's been real quiet in Discord. Like I said before, that goes back to all the lifestyle changes and like the kind of things we're doing to get realigned with getting everything in order. But on the back end, we are still working. So we are definitely going to be in the Discord a lot more. Me and Justin have been talking about doing some gameplay in there. Brandon and Jose earlier were just talking about getting in there and recording gameplay. So you could be on at 2 a.m. You might see Brandon in there with Charlie or me or somebody. We were recording some gameplay through Discord so that we can go ahead and post it on our social medias in different areas. So be on the lookout for that. If we are going to do an event in Discord, like we've seen before, where our community has done, where we might have giveaways and things like that for people to hang out. We do some box openings and things like that with the product we do have right now. Those things will be announced, so you'll be able to engage in the Discord and hang out. If you are a play tester, want to be a play tester, let me know in Discord so that I can give you that role in Discord. If you no longer want to, that's totally fine. I'll probably go through everybody that is a play tester in our Discord and let you guys know if you want to still be in that role or not, because we got people who are asking questions in the Discord, and by all means, we can't always be there on exactly when the questions asked. But I know if you can be in there, if you want to be a play tester and help answer questions and help with the your players that are playing the game, your community, please let us know so we can make sure that everyone that wants to communicate and help people learn about deck play and things like that and how to build these decks definitely can help each other. Because as a community, it's something that it's better for us all together, work together to make it all happen, things of that nature. So in Discord, we are going to have more engagement. We're going to be posting a few things. I know last time we spoke on here, I was supposed to post the PDF to show you guys how the pack battles work for our game. That will be up there, the PDF, but I know the link should be available. If you are not aware where that's at, it's going to be in the links channel in Discord for updates there, as well as any other new updates for cards and things like that, like the erratas and things like that. The link for that will probably be in there as well, so you guys can easily access that. I'll pin it to the top of the channel so you can just go to the pins and be able to pull up the errata as they get updated, and you can just check out whatever you might need from that. So that's for Discord engagement. We're going to try to get back on a schedule where it's like at least once a week there's a dev in the Discord available, teaching the game, playing the game, and showing people what's going on. So be on the lookout for that. Directions and printing. Arc set is the set that we're mainlining for the release coming soon. But as we're going through, we talk to the community. A lot of people want to show the game more to their people that they play the game with, their play groups and things like that. And we also are ramming up to start focusing in on the LGS tours. So with that being said, first thing we're going to print before Arc set is we're going to get a whole heap of starter decks, and these are going to be starter decks that are revamped and updated starter decks. As Charlie and Brandon get to their part, they're going to show you some stuff. But just to break it down for you guys, for the direction, we're going to be looking at getting a bunch of starter decks in that are easily accessible for the communities, so people can start showing the games to their friends, so that we can get it played out. We're going to probably be building like pre-con deck sets, so that you can order a whole LGS kit in a sense for a learn to play if you're not like local to us. Because if you're local to us, we're definitely going to come down if you want to do one in your LGS. And the way we're going to probably build them is you're going to get 2 of each of the starter decks. That's going to be Raskin, Veil, Solaris. It's going to be 2 of each in the LGS kit. They're going to also come with exclusive Overload prize event cards for doing learn to plays. So for instance, week 1, we'll have it on our we'll have it mapped out. So you'll know this week 1 of tournament season, this promo is the card that can go out, or it can be any one of the cards, but only one of the cards come out per week. So you might be able to get to 2 events, XYZ reasons. You might have to shuffle around a little bit, maybe see who's throwing an event and maybe just be part of that as well. So we can kind of mix it up so the community can get there. But Charlie will show you guys a few different things when it comes to LGS kits. But yeah, definitely. And these decks are revamped. They're not the same ones that are the pre-cons that were originally made. These ones are a little bit more sophisticated and built with the more advanced cards, and also built so you can better play the meta for each of the heroes.
Yeah, they're more intuitive. We did a little bit more analyzing, and with the help of the community, we dialed it into more competitive, somewhat competitive ready right out the box.
Yeah. So you can get the feel of each character a little bit better. So yeah, and then we'll announce pricing and things like that, but these we want to make more available to the community. So these starter decks are going to be along the lines of the more economic route for easy entry or barrier to play the game. Because right now that's just the most important thing. And if you guys want shiny cards, then we do have the Dimensional Rift booster boxes available. So people who want shiny cards, you'll be able to get those too. But these starter decks, by all means, they're going to have those special promos with the event. But they're also going to be no foils in them at all. It's just a straight learn to play deck. But just be on the lookout for all the updates as
well,
we go.
let's be a little bit more modest with that, Jason. Actually, they will be just the starter decks, but they'll also be included. Each starter deck will have 3 booster packs from the D Rift to help expand that a little bit more and give options for the people with those cards to add into those decks as well. So we're also going to be giving 3 D Rift packs that could have foils in them that will help expand that experience and gameplay for the new players. And
so
stuff
in the
like
LGS
that.
kit, you'll get 3 packs per starter deck to go
yeah.
with the starter deck, so you can build the deck out a little bit more for your what you're doing there. So we're gonna put those together and make it so you get a really whole heaping full of stuff in there. You're also gonna be getting mats for every one of those starter decks as well.
Hold on, Jay, are these like paper folded mats? What kind of mats are these that they're gonna get with these kits?
With these kits, exclusively the LGS kits, they're going to be coming with the neoprene mats.
Hold on, man. That's a wow. Okay.
As they are going to be a archetype in the sense of showing you guys how we want to do for LGSs and what we're going to be sending them out, things like that. Once we get everything moving and going, just be aware that these are the first round of us putting out starter decks to do an LGS kit. We're breaking the seal on it to kind of see what works, what doesn't work, who likes what doesn't, what LGS gives us feedback and things like that. So definitely we want to make sure that everything connects in the proper way and flows correctly. We are working with the company Cardi.io. They do have an integrated system that will also help us with connecting people playing the tournament and seeing what LGSs are doing tournaments and playing the game. So that's more details will come in Jose's portion of that, talking about what he's doing with them. because he's head of the website, app, deck builder, all that kind of stuff. He's like a coach, man, you know.
The coach man.
So, but yeah, so definitely we're doing that. My printer's overseas, just so you guys are aware, we do print overseas, and they're on holiday. It is
Oh,
an extended
man.
holiday because they don't ever take a holiday. So when they do take a holiday, it's very extended. But I am able to speak to my representative for the company. I don't like to bother them too much because they're on their holiday and they deserve to have a break as well. So as I speak to them and get everything situated, we'll keep you guys up to date once, like we have always done. Once the order is put in, we will announce, hey, the order has been put in. And then once we get the possible shipping date, we will basically give you a roundabout date of when the shipping's gonna get here. And then once we'll get everything out. You guys can always let us know if you prefer pre-order, like if you wanted to pre-order some stuff for the LGS kits, or if you prefer to wait for them to get in and then order them. Definitely we always cater to what you guys want to do in the sense of that. Pre-orders have always went well. I know we've always delivered all the pre-orders, usually with no issues. So definitely those are going to be options for everyone to get into if you want to, but you can always DM me or just message in the general chat and just say, hey, I'd like to pre-order. If I see enough of those, then we'll look into just doing a pre-order for the LGS kits. But that'll also come with once we announce and show you all the graphics and everything, breaking down what's in the LGS kits so that you guys know what you'd be getting if you do pre-order.
The graphicals.
The graphicals for your backafles.
Kill that
So-
graphical.
So definitely we're putting together that. Our focus is gameplay as we've always said since the beginning. So getting this LGS tour, getting LGS kits out. This is aligning with exactly like our goals and our value of what our game is a gameplay.
Yeah.
And then after the starter decks come out and those are flowing and the LGS kits are going, then we'll start pushing the ARC set again. Right now, Charlie is about, I would say, like 98% done with a lot of the work done for the ARC set. Also, if you are interested in trying out the ARC set, it is on our tested battlegrounds. If you're part of the Patreon, you can always test that out. I've also said, like, maybe next week when we get on, I can go on to test the battlegrounds and do a stream live from Discord. If you guys are interested to kind of see what it is, if you're not a Patreon member, we can just kind of show you what's in there so you guys can see what some of the new stuff is for the cards. And
Yeah,
things
and to be fair, we do got people that are at that tier level but just doesn't play TTS, and we get it, we understand that. So we would like to show that opportunity to showcase these newer, cards and things like that, so that people can also get feedback in the community, because everyone doesn't have TTS and don't use it like that.
Yeah. So definitely, those are options and those are things we're going to be looking at getting situated for you guys. So definitely let us know if you are interested in seeing something like that. Maybe we can schedule it so it's like more around like a Saturday afternoon or a Friday night or whatever it may be. That might be easier for everyone to see, even if it's just maybe like going in, loading up the cards and kind of showing you each card and you guys giving feedback on what they do or what they might say. As long as it's planned and we have enough people that want to see it, then we'll do it in the general. But obviously for the Patreon members, if you guys want to do it, you can just, if you're a Patreon member, say, hey, I want to check it out. We can set up a day and we can show you some things in there. Definitely. So, but as I always say on my part, if you guys want to ask any questions as we go, I'll be reading them and I'll interrupt these guys gladly. I don't mind, especially Brandon. He don't want to go up against, the Raskin King because, Stitch
Officially gave you the title. He officially gave you the title.
He tried, but I told him, try again. You know what I mean? So, and definitely with the new ARC set coming out, my Raskin build is going to be even crazier. So, guys.
Yeah, the meta on them is
on.
going to be pretty rough. Pretty rough.
I'm going to pass it on to the coach.
All right, Mr. Jason, we appreciate you. Go ahead, Mr. Coach Jose Suave Chico from Apollo 13.
Wow.
That's Jose from the block. You know what I mean?
Jose with the block.
Wow, guys.
Right, you got such a huge like introductory, bro.
I know, right? So over the past, I think it was 2 weeks ago or so, I got on the phone with well, not on the phone. I got on Discord with Cardi.io, and we talked about the options that they will have for us to actually do tournaments on the introvert.
Hey, Jose.
What's up?
I feel like you should be playing salsa music and dancing. Saying.
I'm leaning in more techno, man. I don't know. Salsa might just bring a little swag. I don't know. It might bring a little swag to the environment.
He's gonna do that
Anyway.
salsa tech. That's what he's gonna do.
Chicka-pa-pa-boom. Chicka-chicka-pa-pam-boom.
Man, do
Chicka-chicka-pam.
I hear a promo card? I hear a promo card, bro. Salsa tech. Salsa teca.
Jose, they need you to go design their office. Ken
I
said they
know.
need you to come design his office, man.
Oh shoot.
Oh, it's not. Anyways, yeah, I talked to Cardi.io. So when it comes to doing tournaments online with them, and when you do register as an LGS, they're gonna look you up. They're gonna do a big background check on you, make sure that you're legit. They don't want nobody that's just a nobody on there, just doing
Ooh.
things. Now, if you are, I guess, one of our community members that want to hold tournaments or anything like that, you have to contact us like that. I can approve it. But like, just hit me up on Discord or whatever, whatnot. Like, I know I got Just 31 that wants to try to do a tournament. I think it was. I think even Stitch wanted to do it too. They got in contact with me. I got in contact with Cardi, and that now they're enrolled. for
So,
them to do
like, would that be a DM or is there gonna be like a ticket system for that?
I mean,
Jose.
people can find me on Discord in the chats and whatever. But it can be a ticket. Like if you do make a ticket and you want to be a part of it, you can do that if you want to too.
Okay,
Not
sounds pretty solid.
the only types of tournaments that they are doing right now, because I guess they don't have anything else programmed or they're on their work, they're working on. But the ones that they do have now are the Swiss types. Which honestly, I don't know what kind of tournament that is. And the Swiss types are like how they do Lacrona, like they do like a big group and then they gather up points and then the people get knocked out in some kind of way.
Basically, what Swiss is that the winners play the winners and continuously play the winners. Whoever has higher points are matched up against higher point
Right.
players. Whoever loses
They-
play against the losers until they get. Well, I hate to say losers.
Unwinners.
The unwinners. The unwinners play the unwinners. But yeah, that's essentially what Swiss mode
They're
is.
not on winners. They just didn't pull their cards. They didn't get the cards.
They-
That's
didn't get the
facts, though.
cards,
That's
man.
happened many times.
They're-
You're not an
they're
unwinner.
second place.
The unlucky players.
They came in second place instead of first.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
right.
Wow.
You got to be first in something.
I'd rather be a loser then. Let me just go ahead and run with that title. I don't want to be a second placer.
And also they do have a single knockout round tournaments. So once you set up your matches, I mean everything should be aligned. We still haven't looked it up yet. I haven't really dabbed into the whole setup of how to start a tournament, but we will soon here. I don't know when.
I think
But it'll come.
I think that Stitch and Justin are gonna do 1-round knockout for the next tournament they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, but because of the limitations, they initially wanted to do some kind of round robin type ordeal. But I think we're kind of limited on what we can do on the website from Jose's confirmation from .io. But they're revamping it. They had it situated, which I was going to talk a little bit more on my piece. Which I'll talk a little bit more on my piece. But they had it situated, but now they're kind of revamping with the options that are on our website, and we do want to run it through the Interverse page tournament because it'll keep track of your record through historics through our Interverse, which is better than using a third-party site.
Okay. Next thing we talked about was metrics. If you actually start your deck builder or collection of your deck.
Hold on, man. I might be able to actually showcase this. I think me and Jason last night we kind of. Go ahead, you can start talking about it.
Okay.
Jose, let me make sure my system won't crash.
When you do create your own deck,
Pray to God,
of
pray
course
to
you're gonna have your heroes and your abilities and all that good stuff on your site. They are actually working on getting all the metrics of all the cards. I talked to them about that. I was wondering why it's not set up yet, but they're I guess they're kind of backed up on their stuff too. So, but soon they'll have that set up like that. You can measure out how many storage points or storage energy points you need, or the average of the amount that you have that you'll need in your deck. It's almost like I think of it as like Clash of Clans, like how they have all their setup. Pretty much that's how it's gonna be set up here too. Storage points, the type of class that you have, like solar, glacier, you're gonna have like pretty much graphs of all this stuff on there. I think it's gonna look dope. There's other card companies that have the same thing. I looked over that stuff. Looks great. Also, the details of the cards they are actually working on too. when I'm setting up all the APIs or whatever the whole data sheet, I give them all that information. So that I don't know why they haven't set it up yet, but it should be coming soon too. If anybody had any questions about it, you know what I'm saying. Also, new images are coming. Trying to set all that stuff up. We're just so busy with all the information and data that we have to submit to them or me. You know what I mean, guys. I got a lot of stuff to do. Uh, Other than that, what do I have here? Where's my other stuff? My other notes. I got notes everywhere. Man. Oh, speaking about cards and deck builders.
Oops.
When you do create your deck, and we did mention about the fact that you can actually transfer your deck to TTS.
I think I'm cutting
We
half
finally-
of you off. Hold on. There we go.
Why am I half off sucker MC? Do I
My
gotta
bus,
transfer
my
this
bus, man. I'm trying to get
way?
this to kind of perform for you, brother.
Anyways, we got the codes for TTS in order for you guys to actually go to our introverse, copy the code for the TTS, and then when you go into TTS.
So why not talk about it? Let's go ahead and showcase this for a second here. So what you guys got to do is you got to go to Vanquishers TCG.com, and in here you guys will go to the actual Interverse. So this tab right here, the Interverse, you guys want to go ahead and make sure you click that. This is what you'll be welcomed into. So you'll be able to build your own deck right here. If you put cards, you'll be able to select and view all the cards. Of course, all the options will be here off to the left side. You can go ahead and select your cards. If you select deck here, we actually have pre-con decks that are done. If you guys actually want to see what's going to come in the new decks for the new starter decks, are actually right here. So here's the Raskin starter deck for 2024. Here's the Veil starter deck for 2024. And then, of course, Solaris's starter deck for 2024. So when you click it, you'll actually be introduced to what the decks will hold. So this here will show you all the cards that are in the deck, what will be part of that deck in the Interverse side. So what you guys got to do is, if you are using TTS, there's this tab right here on the top right, these 3 dots. You want to make sure you click that and you copy the TTS link code, okay? Once you have copied that code there, I'm going to go ahead and load into create a quick game. Boom. And then you click and load right into the Vanquishers page here. Open, sure. And right here on the left-hand side, as you guys can take a look. Hopefully my system isn't kind of dragging, but oh, actually, no, it's moving real smooth.
Oh, you're looking good.
Wow, this is amazing. I don't know what happened. So here, when you guys, I think I'm cutting some of it off. So here is going to be the actual .io link here. So here we'll have the Interverse for the Vanquishers. So here you click and you just Control V, which pastes it. Control copy, Control B, whatever you guys decide to use, and you import your deck. Once you've imported your deck, your hero is going to appear here, and the entire deck's going to build here. So even if you went on that site and you built your own custom deck, you just put import, and they're all going to show up right there. So it's loading, boom, your whole deck's there. So when you flip this, there goes the Solaris, and there goes all the Solaris cards in that entire deck. Straight from .io, guys. That's simple.
Nice.
So now it'll keep your decks in here, and then you'll also be able to utilize that exact build from a website. And it's cool because it works well mobile. It's like very mobile friendly. It looks awesome. In fact, I built this whole deck build through the mobile. So again, you guys can go in here and make your own deck builds and build your own deck. So you select your hero. You can click the hero tab over here on the right-hand side. These are the selections of heroes. You start off by selecting your hero. Once you have selected your hero, you go on and start going through all the cards, moving on forward from there. Then you can save your deck, your own personal deck, and you can choose to make it public for other people to see that deck build, or you can personalize it for yourself and just have your own custom builds that you kind of don't want people to know about. All right, you want to go ahead like Jason. Jason withhold his deck. He's not going to expose his Raskin God build.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He stood mute. He stood mute there, man. He don't want to say nothing. But yeah, so essentially that's what it boils down to.
Stitch feelings.
Sis gonna be like, man, that's what you beat me with. All right, without further ado, Mr. Jose, did we touch on everything? Was there anything else we needed to go on and make sure we update?
Master Bash is complete. I will be submitting that stuff to Cardio like that. They can try to get that up and running as soon as possible.
Oh, sweet. So just as a quick disclaimer, just so that what Jose mentioned was a good point. On the Interverse is only the Dimensional Rift set. They are the older cards. They haven't been updated with the new revisions. We have been working very aggressively, and I
Diligently,
can't. Diligent, very diligently with the revisions. I know that we had quite a few, and we've been keeping track of it on our FAQ sheet. And so we've been making revisions on the cards just to make sure that they're all up to date. That newer people that are coming into this to the series can read it, and it's much easier, and it's congruent, and it's just very fluent as you go through. You saw what I just did there? I think I just named one of our community members Fluent. It's very fluent, right? So it's very uniform. So we wanted to make sure that we kept that uniformity in there, and that it just, makes more sense, and just things are a lot more fluent. There we go. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to go ahead and throw that 3 times in there. So, Mr. Jose, do we have any more updates on the app or anything like that? Is there anything that we're touching up on the website or anything like that?
I mean, the website just looks nicely red and stuff for Christmas, but other than that, we gotta update that thing.
Yeah, we got to get that up to date. So as you guys can see, clearly we have a lot of updates to do, but again, like we promised, there's a lot of moving parts going on in the back end, and trust me, guys, we got a lot to boom with, All right, Mr. Jose, you wrapped up, my friend? You go ahead and give the dos to the deuces. All right, you guys. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and jump on to is going to be Tabletop Simulator and the physical game updates. That's mine and Brandon's little topics here is where we go ahead and shine. Probably where quite a handful of you guys are here to go and view some new stuff. We do got some new stuff to showcase tonight. We're very excited that we can finally actually showcase some of the stuff that we've been working on. So in the back end, we're doing there's a lot of moving parts, guys. A lot of you guys that's been with us since the beginning, or that's been like mid-town with us, knows that we have this game, and this game is actually growing to become much bigger than what it really is. We have different game modes that now we're actually scratching the surfaces, or actually not even scratching. We're actually close to releasing on one of the game modes, which is our Carnage game mode, which is going to be awesome. It's a multiplayer game where you, along other allies, up to 2 other allies, battle up against a whole nother team. And it doesn't have to be a whole nother team, which we'll talk in more detail a little bit when I showcase the Carnage cards. We're actually going to showcase 2 of the cards tonight, so you guys can actually take a first glance at what these cards are going to look like, what the UI is going to look like, and the interface and how it's going to function in the game. And we'll talk a little bit about that before we set the rules. But yeah, without further ado, Mr. Brandon, where can people find us on usually every single Tuesday, and for the most part?
So every single Tuesday, you can find us at Nerdy Needs, Mystic Forge. We usually get things kicking off around 7, where you can find all of our information, all of our links, connections to our social media platforms is going to be our website, VanquishersTCG.com. When you go on the website, once you are logged in, you will be able to have access to our free Tabletop Simulator mod. You're going to have access to print and play, and you are also going to have access to product.
Yeah. And how did I fail to present that our TTS was totally free? Yeah. So if you guys actually have TTS, our mod's totally 100% free. Of course, you have to get the TTS program or the app, which isn't very expensive. From my understanding, I think Brandon, typically we tend to see it on sale for especially during the holidays.
A lot of times, especially like during the holidays, which we didn't get it over the holidays. It's usually like 50% off, and they will randomly do it throughout the year.
Yeah, and you don't need a super massive, powerful computer to run it. The program is pretty. It's not super graphically intense. It's graphical intense, right?
Yeah, no, I'm running Windows 95 right now, and it's running just fine. So
my man just gave us a throwback, bro. Stop showing our age, man. Why are we showing our age on the live stream? Don't do that. Was it the dial-up? Were you getting that little jingle noise in the background?
No, well, after, because you have to go to MS-DOS first, and then, you got to type. And
you threw it even further back. Yo, stop. Let's stop that. Stop. Don't do that, guys. So anybody that is new, that is interested in going ahead and checking us out, on Tuesdays is ideal. We're going ahead and go into our Nerdy Needs, our local game store, and we play this out. Again, this is in Brandon, Florida, where we do our game. Mystic Forge, I think we do have a couple of people out there. Jason and Jose used to be there when they were out in that direction, out in Port Charlotte. But right now, primarily, you can catch us at Nerdy Needs. We're more than happy if we can go ahead and get people on the Discord that wants to actually showcase and play the game. We don't mind carrying our laptops and stuff like that. We can go ahead and play digital with you guys on TTS, or even do a camera gameplay over there at Mystic Forge as well. 7 p.m. typically is when we're over there, when we start playing out. It's usually until 9 o'clock. They do shut down at 9. And but anyone's welcome to go ahead and play beyond those parameters, especially if you're doing digital. If you guys are at home, man, feel free to go ahead and do that. That's where typically you'll find us, and we can go ahead and communicate a little bit more live.
And you can also find us on the Discord if you go on there and you add
Playtester.
playtesters, you're going to message everyone who's interested in playing the game and teaching you how to play the game. And if you are interested in being one of those people, message us on Discord, let us know, and we'll add you to the playtesters.
Hey, Two Lanes, you got to keep the gloves up, man. Stop hitting me below the belt. He's not
Hey,
too
yeah.
sure.
did you
His
ever change your graphical card?
can-
Did you get that new graphical card or what?
You know what? I'm
Okay.
gonna build you a graphical card, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and send you a graphical card. It's gonna handle that.
I don't
worry.
want
It's
to know
gonna be
what this graphical card is going to look like that you build it for me.
It's gonna handle. It's gonna handle the speeds and everything, bro. You're
I'm
all
gonna
good.
get graphically slapped.
You know, don't
probably.
even worry about that. Like Allstate, you'll be in good hands. You'll be in good hands. We got you. So without
Hey,
further,
real quick. So Armor Ken's asking in chat. He had a question about the emails that he gets whenever he does a submission on the website to get the V points or the V coins. He wants to know if there's any way he can turn off the email he gets every time that notifies him that he got 2 coins for
logging in.
I'm on it right now.
There we go,
All right,
Mr.
Jose's
Jose is
working
on it right now. Look
I
at
was
that.
gonna
While we
say,
working, we
if
working.
you
Man.
yell
Guys,
at
that's how it
Jose,
is.
he'll
Man.
make it happen.
Pepto-Bismol, fast, effective relief.
And
Kapow.
also remember, when it comes to the web and app development, pretty much
Block-
anything that you
block
ask
it. Oh, I
Jose
thought you
for,
said
he
you
will do it.
No, not anything. Not anything.
I thought Jose said I blocked him. Yo, Jose, why would you do that? You're so disrespectful. Man, no, but you don't. Let me find out you try anybody in our community, bro. I'll give you the business. I'm talking button your shirt straight. So, hey, and also without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit. We, Brandon and I, and the whole entire team, we've been talking a little bit off stream. Once we start the LGS tours, Brandon's actually going to be doing live gameplay randomly, and I know Jason kind of mentioned it throughout the weeks. It won't be a set day every single day, but he's gonna do his due diligence to make sure that he go on ahead and be able to play the game. Like we mentioned, we'll probably be on TTS and playing the test and battleground, showcasing you guys cards. But we're going to be recording these things as well, so that way we could post it on our social media and also get it in our games, because we are getting newer people that are coming into the community and asking questions, and wants to see more updated gameplay and stuff like that. And we get it. We're going to do our do our part to make sure that we are recording them and we're loading these gameplay for you guys. Anybody else in the community as well, man, if you guys are playing it and if you guys can, go ahead and load it, man, and upload it into your social medias if you got those platforms and link us to it. We'll be more than happy. Or send us the video. We'll load it on our page. Jose will go ahead and make sure he takes care of that for you guys.
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
He'll make sure he's in the Apollo 13 and do that. Or Apollo 36? 74? Okay. Yeah, there you go. He's floating away. So, yeah. So, as we mentioned, the ARC set is there currently in the test and battlegrounds. We are going to be putting the Carnage mode, which is the newer game mode. It's a complete different game mode, different play style of play. We're going to be putting that in there as well. Like I mentioned, Brandon will probably be there playing some of the games. He'll probably play some of the traditional games, hop back and forth and try out some of the newer cards. So, for those that do have test and battlegrounds or that don't have the test and battlegrounds, can actually see the cards and kind of be a little familiar of what's coming, what's to come to the battlefield. It's an awkward silence right there. All
They're
right, so
asking about the V coins. What are we gonna do with these V coins? So
Okay.
guys, hold on to your chairs. We're gonna let y'all know here soon about the V coins and things we're gonna be doing with those.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if the V coins will they work with the Interverse by any chance?
No,
Okay, so
it's all separate systems.
2 separate systems. All right.
We'll
Damn.
figure. Don't worry.
We'll figure
get it
something out,
figured
though. We're going to be utilizing that into a more extensive, because we did kind of went with the other company right now. But yeah, we'll definitely be incorporating that. But we do have plans. We've always had plans for the V coins. But yeah, like Jason said, buckle up, man. Buckle up. Just hang on to them. Keep track notes. Jose, look, he already took care of you. Look at that, man. Jose don't play no games, man. I mean, he plays games, a lot of video games, but he don't play those games. All right, so real quick, we have been working we've been working really hard on revising some of these cards on the back end. So for those that are playing the game pretty heavily and those that are in love with the OGs, listen, we've had a lot of love from the Monster Bash heroes, like a lot of love. People are really like to a point where it was like, man, we're going to choose the Monster Bash over this because of that and this and that. We had a couple of DMs from some of our community members questioning about the OGs, like, the OGs being left behind and stuff like that. No, so we did our new revision, and the OGs are going to get a little buff. Look, we already got people talking about the Monster. Yeah, Monster Bash was goated. It was. But now the older heroes, the original heroes will have an EX system, guys. They're going to be part of the new EX system. So don't worry. If you guys do have the older heroes, on our website, we're going to have a link of some of the changes that occurred. So you guys have somewhere to refer to their new EXs. So you guys can still, they will be honored in tournaments once we get all the revision version sets out of the D-Rift, which isn't going to be for a while from now. So a lot of your KS cards are still usable for, from time being. So don't think they're all written off in any way, shape, or form. But just know, as new D-Rift cards come out, they will be the revision versions. They will have a different icon at the bottom. They won't have the Ks. For the Kickstarters, for those that have it, has the originals. But they will still be usable. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and showcase the new revision heroes. Man, I really do want to showcase these guys tonight. And again, shout out to the community members that has helped out. Help us double look these cards to make sure that we have these as up to date as possible, and to help us go on ahead and move through with this in and out. Mr. Brandon, we'll have Mr. B. We'll have you going ahead and kind of go through the new ability perks on each hero. We're going to just review the V-triggered side. I know you guys are a little bit, for those that know the Monster Bash sets, the non-V-trigger side has an EX ability, which are passives. The new passive rule is essentially you have to wait till you meet the number. So every turn. So if it says 4, you don't get to use that ability immediately. You will have to wait up to 4 turns before you can use that passive ability that you essentially use every time the EX allows you to charge that up. So the new OGs are going to have those. So without further ado, Mr. Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and put us on the screen here so that way we can take a quick look. If you want to review the new EXs, I know that we were discussing a little bit about that before the stream so that we can kind of talk to our community. If you have any questions while reviewing these, you guys can feel free to ask. Mr. Jason and Jose is kind of monitoring those as we speed through because I'm kind of just going to be focusing on here. So let's go ahead and get into this, Mr. Brandon. So we're going to start off with Aurora. So I know some people had a little bit of concerns about her freezing. I think with her EX might actually bring some of the balances out with some of these heroes, man. So these are going to all be reviewed under the V-Trigger side. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in really quickly so you guys can kind of take a quick look at the V-Triggers perks here and the costs and what they're going to kind of do.
I was gonna say you also gonna have to zoom in because I'm blind as a bat.
Yo, do you need me to zoom in a little bit more? I got you.
No, I think
No, we're good? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll try to keep it at this zoomed in.
All right, so Aurora, the EX ability that was added to Aurora states freeze all enemies until the end of your turn, deal 1 glacier damage when freeze is removed. So again, these EX abilities, you'll be able to use them whenever you want. You're just gonna have to wait that amount of turns before you'll be able to use it again. So this one, you will have to wait 5 complete turns until you're able to use it again.
Yeah, so essentially she'll be able to deal 1 glacier damage when the freeze is removed. So if she does apply freeze to you, and the moment your freeze's condition's gone, she's going to apply additional 1 glacier damage. So it's almost like a burn effect for solars, but she'll be able to freeze you and also all the enemies at the end of their turn. So it's pretty ruthless, man. So it's to freeze all enemies until the end of their turn, deal 1 glacier. So it's like an AoE, essentially. She's going to end up freezing, which, guys, Carnage mode. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but this might actually be a big useful ability with her in Carnage. All right, let's move on.
I think this one's going to be a good one because, you know, all the synergy and there's a lot of good things that freezing does.
Yeah, and Sentinels, man, arc set, guys. Sentinels is that's their come up, man. Real big. All right, we're going to move on to the next card. Mr. Caligo, the infamous Ghost. The Ghost of Shadow. The man you can't hit. Let's go ahead and move into his really quickly, Mr. Brandon. If we can go ahead and review his EX that he's going to have.
Your hero is not affected by class conditions until the beginning of your turn.
So, guys, beware. Caligo's a pain in the butt to hit. Yes, we get it. You know, he's one of the hardest characters to nail once he gets procced and his synergies set off. But also those that like to chuck grenades and things like that to condition his capabilities. If he can read you and know it's going to come, if he hits his EX, he will not be conditioned for any reason, guys. So you won't be able to burn him. You won't be able to curse him. You won't be able to do nothing like that. It's a quick little easy passive for him to go in and swig through. So gotta beware. Mr. Caligo is going to have a little bit more edge on his sword there when he, or in his gun, on his shoulder, and his wrist blade that he got going on. He's got a little edge going on for you guys. All right, let's go ahead and head into the next. Bam. Clara. Oh, let me go and move out a little bit. It looks like I cutting off some of the cost.
All right.
There we go. Bam.
Deal 1 burn stack each time your hero takes damage from a weapon item until the beginning of your turn.
To explain that a little bit, Brandon, what's going on here?
So you'll activate this on your turn, and it'll end at the beginning of your next turn, which means during your opponent's turn, anytime they hit you with any kind of weapon item and they deal damage to you, then they will also have it'll pretty much be the counter effect of them getting a burn stack dealt back to them.
So that's, and for those that know
So if they hit you
Clada,
with all 3 weapon items, they're pretty much going to be taking 3 burn stacks for that turn.
at the beginning of their turn. Well, actually for Clada. And those that know Clada well, once she gets that Inferno out, you don't want to be on fire. Trust. So watch out with that synergy. It's going to be pretty ruthless with her. Think about that duo on the bigger picture. Actually, Jason kind of brought something that can kind of twist the effect that she's capable of doing. But Jason brought up a good point, but I'm not going to say nothing. You guys, the tools are out there to kind of help offset the synergy. But in Carnage mode, think about it.
My gameplay, my tactics and techniques. When we get
I
in
ain't
my
telling
turn-
nobody your tactics. Not yet. But it definitely will get found. Trust me, the community's very wits are very witty on that. So essentially, if you're playing Carnage mode and every player tries to target her on that mode, they're all gonna get burnt up. And trust me, if she is connected with Solaris and he has his Solar Knuckles, he's able to make enemies burn stack up to 8 stacks, guys. So watch out if they're together. Just kind of heads up. Pre-warning. Pretty lethal. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next ability. Next EX. Don't worry. Oh, the GOAT right here, yo. The super GOAT. And this is mine. I'm going to say that. This is my GOAT. So here he goes.
He's not biased at all about him.
No. Absolutely not. He's just the greatest hero of all time.
All right. Choose 1 weapon item. Add 2 shield damage until the end of your turn.
So essentially, what this means is he can only buff one. I know it's not super game breaking, but yeah, he could buff one of his weapon items or any of his items and add 2 shield damage until the end of his turn. So it's a little minor buff that can help him dish out a little bit of damage with his energy gauntlet, or any
And as
weapon
you
at
can
that matter.
tell, because it's not so OP, the EX is 4 turns.
But keep in mind, guys, the reason why this can be, I know some people are looking at it like, really? Shield damage? Who the heck want that? With Saigon, just know when he's V-triggered, all of his weapons and mods with shield damage is now kinetic. So that actually will convert to kinetic damage. So it actually will convert. So early game, it's only stacking shield damage. Once you V-trig and you stack this, it's actually going to help stack that kinetic. I mean, that straight raw kinetic damage. So it does synergize very well. It does look a little weak. But it will play on very well with the synergy, especially if you play the OG Saigon. It plays really well.
The community just spoke, Charlie. That card's banned now.
Officially banned. No, don't do that. Don't do that. We ain't starting a ban list. Are we starting a ban list already? I mean, I'll make a ban for music. I'll put him in the ban for music. Go ahead and put a little guitar in his hand, man. I'll give you that.
My salsa.
My salsa. All right, let's move on to the next guy, Mr. Vale. Mr. Vale got something really kind of interesting for Vale.
All right, Veil. Mitigate 2 damage from 1 weapon until the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah, and I know some people's like, really? 2 damage? 1 weapon? All right, yeah. So it's kind of like that ice wall. He gives you a little ice wall. It helps mitigates, keep him a little bit more viable in a fight. Just allows him to gain, to absorb a little bit of incoming damage. So it's essentially what he does. He's going to be able to mitigate a little bit of damage. Applies that with his armor. It can make him break him on his turns because he does have great turnarounds. Ooh, here we go, Mr. Raskin in the building. This one here is going to be a heart warmer for some players. Mr. Raskin. Let's go ahead and get this read out right here, Mr. Brandon.
This might be the edge that Stitch needs to beat me.
All right. Mitigate 2 damage from all item, power up, and ability cards from the beginning until the beginning of your next turn. We need to correct
ability cards. Oh yeah, we need to add that until. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and make sure we add that there. But yeah, so essentially, he's going to be able to mitigate 2 incoming damage from everything coming his way for that turn. Note that the EX cost is very high for that, but it's one of those ordeals that he might even be able to pull it off twice in a fight. Most fights, 12 turns, it's usually heading near end game. He may only pull it off once realistically, but we've had some cases during tests that he did pull it off a few times, up to 2 times. Depends on what game mode you're playing, right? So if you're playing Dimensional Rift mode, odds are maybe once or twice. If you're playing Carnage mode, it can get pulled off a few more times. Depends on the turnaround. All right, so can we make a quick notation to make sure that we get that updated in there? But I'll go ahead and make sure we get that up to date. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next card here. Mr. Solaris. Now, this one here has been probably one of the most underlooked heroes, but a lot of people had great arguments about the underlook of him. It was that there was not enough trap cards to make him viable, to synergize him properly. We found a decent EX. Oh, trust me, there's been a lot of
He's the best, man.
He's the best? Okay. Yeah. Well, his underdog now became an overdog because he's actually now going to become very viable, guys. Read his EX. Go ahead and, Mr. I know I spent a little bit of time on him. I did how to make a good announcement, but I think his EX definitely brought him up there with, you know, definitely make him an A-class hero, man.
So search your discard for a trap, activate it at 0 cost.
So for those that have been using his trap cards, let's just as an example, what is it? Counterattack. Was it counterattack or which one's the one that does life damage?
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike? Yeah, it's one of those counterattack cards.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of those attack cards that able to deal life damage to you as it gets discarded, on his EX, he'll be able to pull it and immediately activate it. So, and for those that know, when he's V-triggered, it's going to engage 2 solar damage on top of that per card. So for those that know Solaris very well, you know you want to use that kill box, because what kill box will do, kill box will turn any card into a trap. Now, his EX ability will not work for the random any card that was activated for his kill box, because it has to actually be a card that says trap, right? Because what kill box does is it turns any card into your hand into a trap card, and then it does the solar damage based off the cost of the card. So it won't be able to pull those cards back from the grave, unfortunately, but you will want to have some trap cards into your deck just to go ahead and make sure you can siphon through. Remember, guys, grenades play as trap cards, but once it procs and it goes into the discard pile, he will not be able to pull that out back into the play because it is not considered a trap card. It is still a grenade card. It has to be titled trap card. So it must be a dedicated trap card that was played, put into the grave, and you can pull those cards back out. So just kind of giving you guys, I already know gears are moving in people's heads on how they're going to utilize it. It must be used with a trap card, guys. An actual trap card.
Wants it banned.
Another band?
Yep.
Another band hero. All right, well, man, it looks like we're on the right track, guys. We're bringing these low-end guys and putting them up there. So yeah, the banned heroes are coming back up there with all the heroes that should be banned, right? So I think we're bringing a good balance back into the game here. So Cyber, of course, not. Without further ado, Miss Cyber here, and I'm sure everyone's gonna want. If they thought those characters were gonna get banned, man, they're gonna definitely probably want this one here. So for those that have been using Cyber, I think they're gonna find a really love here, and for those that have been fighting against Cyber, I think they're gonna find a huge hate here. Mr. Brandon, go ahead and let's review this really quickly, so we can move on to the next phase.
All right, it says exhaust 1 storage energy from any enemy damaged by your melee weapons until the end of your turn.
So what essentially does this mean in retrospect, Mr. Brandon? So the exhaust system is that they can't use their storage energy points. So essentially, if she hits you, if she has 3 melee weapons, she procs this and hits you with all 3 weapons, immediately she exhausts. And so exhaust in our terminology now, for those that are probably already familiar with our terminology, exhausting is basically taking away storage energy usage from you. It doesn't destroy it, doesn't permanently get rid of it. It just uses it on your turn. So essentially, you won't be able to use up to 1 storage energy for every hit that she hits you with her melee weapons. I don't know if I explained that well, but essentially, for every melee weapon she hits you with on her turn, when this EX is procced, immediately exhausts 1 of your storage energy points, so you can't use one
if
on
your
your turn.
opponent has 6 storage energy, you hit them with 2 melee weapons, then they're only going to have 4 storage energy
to use on their turn.
on their next turn.
Yeah, but you don't lose the energy. It isn't destroying it.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting it to where you can't use it. So exhaust is a new term that's in our game. It's been active, but it was worded weird. A lot of people wanted this to be revised to a terminology that can make a little bit more sense. So we decided to use the term exhaust. So anytime you guys see exhaust, it's basically using up the storage points from your pool. You're not destroyed because destroy gets rid of it permanently, but it just uses it to a point where you can't use it on your turn. So guys, just kind of be aware, assassins on the arc set is going to be doing a lot of exhaustion. So just conjurers beware, man. That's all I got to say. Conjurers beware. And of course, you know how well that's going to work with Cyber's V-Trigger with her Reaper Blades, man. I mean, not only she's going to exhaust you, but she's going to permanently destroy storage energy from you as well if she's hitting you with her Reaper Blades. So if she hits you with the Reaper Blades, she will permanently destroy one. And then if she has EX'd, she's going to exhaust you that one too as well. So she can essentially destroy one and exhaust one. And then for any additional blades she has, she's going to exhaust you. All right, that covers all the OGs for those that have been watching it. These are what's going to be coming through. We're going to make sure we revise Raskin because I think that was worded a little weirdly. But other than that, those are what we have right now as far as the changes for the OGs. There have been revisions on the weapons. We did add the new icons for the weapons to know when they proc. I know we've talked about that. They will be done for the new revision versions, revised versions. We're going to be working on the Monster Bash set series as well to make sure that we get the revisions to match everything uniformed. That way, when the new Arc set series is going to drop, everything is fitting the uniform from that point on. So we have been working on this stuff. We appreciate everybody out there that's been helping us with that support to move forward, you know, and help us basically get those revisions done. Really quickly, I'm going to show you guys the energy overloads that are going to come with the LGS kits that are going to come when we do the LGS tour. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly jump into the screen real quick here to show you guys the... So this here is going to be one of the energy overloads. So the idea behind this is...
Real quick, before you jump into that, Charlie, we got a question about the EX.
Yes.
So that will be updated to all the old cards.
Correct. So all the old cards...
These cards will pretty much be the same as the old Solaris cards, even though they don't have the same text. It will apply to those old cards as well.
Yeah, so for those that are new in our community or watching this or just coming on board to our community, essentially the OGs, the originals from the Kickstarter sets, had their V-triggers written on the front and on the back. The new Monster Bash came with, we missed an opportunity by utilizing an exhaust system in the front, an EX system, which is allowing you to utilize a unique ability that allows them to do it passively. But a lot of people were asking questions about the older heroes. Will they have it? How will they be able to compete with the newer heroes that just came out? And so we decided to go ahead and go back and add that to the older heroes. So anyone that has the older heroes from the Kickstarter sets, all those abilities will be honored for those sets. We are going to be putting out a PDF on our website. For those that are hosting tournaments, there will be that version that you'll have to use in honor for your EX abilities. To be able to utilize for those cards. So yes, they will be active whenever we announce the new version that will be put into play for those cards. So once we get it up there, at that point moving forward, we'll be starting to use those EX abilities for all those heroes. So as of right now, if you guys are playing casually, the Monster Bash set series, you won't have to worry about that for the Monster Bash tournament because the only characters that can be used are the Monster Bash heroes. So they already have the EX abilities on them. They're not using the D-Rift characters for the Monster Bash tournament. But after the Monster Bash tournament or even during, we'll have that updated so that way everybody that is going to be using the older cards, the OGs, can use that system. So that way they'll have the new EX system. So hopefully I answered that question. So really quickly here, I'm going to review the overload cards. We're going to kind of breeze through it very quickly because I know we want to go ahead and get through the Carnage cards, and I know we're running a little bit late on our stream, and we're definitely at 10 o'clock marker, and we appreciate everybody hanging in there. So here's going to be one of the energy overloads. So we're going to have a cartridge, energy cartridge overload. This one, oh, and just as a quick announcement, we have decided that overloads will be usable in tournaments, and you'll be able to use them in play. So there will be these variations moving on. So all the older energy overloads will not be used. So they got to have the TLs on them, guys. But the way we're going to use these cards, and they will be in the rule sets for the new sets, so this won't be out until after we do the tours and everything. But essentially the way these are going to function, if any of you guys play Destiny in any way, shape, or form, the way the exotics work, where you can only have one exotic of that type on your hero in general. So essentially, you can only have one energy overload card in your entire deck. Doesn't matter which energy overload it is. And it takes place from that card type. So essentially, a kinetic ammunition, though you can have an infinite amount, it would only take place of one kinetic ammunition, which really doesn't matter because you can have an endless amount. So this one you just basically put into your deck and you can be able to utilize. But you can't put in any other energy overloads in your deck. I don't know if that makes any sense. Did I explain that properly, Brandon? Did that make any sense?
I think we understood what you were saying is, yeah, you can only have one energy overload card in your deck, period.
Period, correct. So if there was 10 different energy overloads out there, you can't have all 10. You can only have one of the 10 in your deck, period. So you can only have
What
one
if I'm
energy
a
overload
really
type.
good collector and I managed to get my hands on all of those?
Well, honey, you can go ahead and you can put all 9 of them on the side and put one of them in your deck. And you could choose to switch in and out however works your build. But the way they work are essentially, let's move on to the next one. So essentially this energy overload very quickly is a bad example because you can have an endless amount of ammunition in your deck. So this will just replace one, which doesn't matter. This card here will give you 3 ammunition. This energy overload will immediately max out your gun's ammunition size. So that's what this one will do. The next E overload, real quick, is going to be the reinforced shield. Okay, so this one's a bit nuts. So keep in mind, you can have 3 of the original reinforced shields, but this card will take place of one of the 4, right? You can have a maximum of 4 in your deck, but this counts as one of the 4. Okay, this will replace one of the reinforced shield because it's the same name card. It's not a different name. The difference is that you can only have this as your choice of energy overload, and this functions different than the original actual card. So this actual reinforced shield will mitigate 1 kinetic damage and 3 shield damage, which is overloaded because the original only mitigates 2 shield damage. So is this actually adding 1 more shield damage and 1 kinetic damage to your mitigation? So this is pretty ruthless vitality to add to your hero.
And there is a difference between these energy overloads and uniques, because unique, you can only just have 1 card.
Yeah, 1 unique of that type. So uniques, you can have 10 uniques in your deck, but they got to be 10 different uniques. 10 different uniques. And they got to obviously fit your hero, right? They got to be usable for your hero. So you can have many uniques in your deck. But in energy overload, the E overload, you can only have 1 E overload, period, in your entire deck. So out of choice, you definitely want to make sure that you're picking the E overload that best functions your hero. So like, for example, this one here, if you're using reinforced shield, this E overload might be a nice replacement for 1 of the 4 E reinforced shields or 3, however many you're putting in your deck. This will be a nice little replacement for that because of the mitigation that it applies. Next card. The Reeve, guys. Revo. Trust me when I tell you, for those that are using Revo, it's already a mean card, right? The revolving rounds. But this Revo is ruthless, guys. Still only costs 3. It's overloaded like crazy. This card is by base damage going to deal 3 kinetic damage. Then the revolving rounds that are going to apply the additional damage on top of that. It's also going to have 2 ability perks built onto it. You're going to have the rapid targeting once per turn, target again after missing. So even if you miss with the Revo, you're going to have the opportunity to go ahead and target again. That's a great ability. And plus the headshot after rolling 4 or 6 is going to deal 1 life damage, guys. This is a ruthless gun. Yeah, this gun is going to be a game changer gun in your deck. Again, keep in mind, if you guys are already using Revos in your deck, this would count as one of those Revos in your deck. So if you have 4, you have to remove one of the regular ones to apply this one. If you're not using any, you can go ahead and just apply this one and call it a day. But keep in mind, you can only have 1 E overload period in your deck, and can't stress that.
Yeah. Let's make that
very clear. Yeah. We're going to make sure that
how many cards you have in your deck. It doesn't matter how many cards or how many of this one card you have. If it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Doesn't matter if you have a deck full of ammo, because you can have unlimited ammo. That would be stupid, but hey, do what you do.
Facts.
There better be only 1 energy overload in the entire.
Yeah, so there'll only be 1 E overload. And guys, keep in mind when you're doing tournaments, We're going to be using the Interverse. You will have to register your cards that you're using in the Interverse before you enter a tournament. So yes, let's go ahead and make sure that we're playing fair.
So you couldn't use that energy overload card, ammo card with the energy overload Revo because you can only have one.
Correct. And last but not least, we're going to have a Cenotic armor. So the Cenotic armor, which was probably the base armor in our game, there will be an overload version, which this version here will apply 4 shields. It's going to do 3 damage mitigation, and it's going to have 7 durability, which hands down for Cenotic's cost, this is a beast armor piece to have on your hero. It's very low cost, and it's a good mitigation, very strong mitigation. It almost competes with the... what is the high end one that we have? The rare one. I think the stats are pretty close, man. But for the cost of it, it's very very comparable. So those right there, guys. Oh no, I lied. There was a 5th one. The barrel. There is a mod. This mod here is going to be the white noise. So for those that are using the white noise, I myself actually use the white noise. So this might actually be a nice little plugin for my build. This here is going to add 3 kinetic damage and 4 targeting. It's nuts. This one here is going to be a crazy one. The craziest part about this mod is that it's going to fit all range weapons. So this here will fit any range weapon you have on the field. So guys, make sure you pick your poison properly. Pick the poison that'll fit your builds the most effectively. We have 5 energy overloads that are coming out. These will be coming out during the LGS tours. Each LGS event we go to, one of these cards will be released, and it'll be your opportunity to get these cards. Jason will be working on the details on how to obtain these. For those that are not in our local area, we will be honoring, for people to be able to get their hands on these cards. Jason's working on that system as we speak. So if you guys have any ideas or anything, go ahead and feel free to go on our Discord, talk, chat with us. We're more than happy to go ahead and make sure we get these cards. And to those, that are interested in getting these cards in their hands during the LGS times, right? So when we're on event 1, if, for instance, day 1 event may just be the ammunition, for example, if we're releasing the ammunition on day 1, that's what that we're going to be promoting out. So for those, we'll find the ways of going to make sure we get those out. And people that are getting the LGS kits will also get these too for the people that show up in those events and get those promo cards. Or not even promo cards, because these will actually be usable cards in the event. So, yeah. That's essentially covering the actual overload. So again, just to recap, overloads will be usable. The new upcoming overloads will be usable in the deck. You can only have 1 overload out of all the overloads that will be coming out in the entire set series. So just make sure that if you guys got them, you can load them into your actual decks. You can only have 1. We're going to keep stressing that, right, Brandon? We're going to keep stressing that just to kind of drill it into people that's only 1 overload. This will be in the rule books. It'll be in the rule book area where we talk about the card types and how many cards you could have. It'll be listed right there, right below uniques. It'll be right there in the rule book. Once we get the revised version, we'll notify the community that the update is there, and it'll explain the overload cards that'll be added into the system.
Like we were saying, unique cards, you could have 20 unique cards in your deck as long as none of those cards are the same card.
Correct.
You can't have more than 1 energy overload in a deck.
All right, hold on real quickly here. I'm trying to revise this real quick, and I'm going to...
We're getting secret access.
Pushing buttons,
Here spilling all the beans.
I did. I spilled all the habichuelas, didn't I? Huepa status. All right, my bad, guys. Sorry for putting you through a massive amount of riffs. I just wanted to make sure I had these cards up in order. So we're going to quickly showcase I appreciate you guys sticking around, but we're going to go ahead and showcase really quickly the Carnage cards. So these are just the Carnage cards. We have a Carnage set series that's coming out with, I forgot the exact card count. Jason, do you have the card count by any chance of what's coming out with this set? Hold on, maybe I could pull it up. I believe we have it. We should have it in our listings. I think it's like 30 something, or is it like 40? Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna give you guys the exact card count real quick. I apologize. Carnage set. Here we go. All right, so the exact card count will be 34 cards, and of course, there could be a few more extras. So there's 34 from this set that will be coming out with the Carnage card. Keep in mind, a lot of this is designed to play for team play orientation to help the players on your team. So this is a coordinated style gameplay that's going to be coming out that allows you to support your team and allies. For example, you'll be able to be like playing a Conjure as a combat medic where you could take 3 shield damage and you can apply 2 shield, 4 shields to all your players on the team to help them recover if they're sentinels, if they're assassins. It'll help their recovery off jump, but you'll take a sacrifice. So it's things within that nature. We'll be putting out those cards again on TTS. So without further ado, let's talk about the most important key card to this new card that is part of this new mechanic system. So this here is going to be our Carnage card. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Bam!
Jump into the Innerverse.
Jumped in. We just riffed right into it. This here is going to be our Descent card. So our Descent card here is what we're going to be reviewing very quickly. And as you guys can see, this is going to be a neutral card. So this neutral card will fit any hero. So the way we're planning on putting these out will be packs. You guys will be able to open up the pack. It'll guarantee you a Carnage card. So you'll get a Carnage card. There'll be 2 neutrals, and there'll be there'll be 2 neutrals, 1 of each class type. And then there'll be a special one in between all that mix, which we're not going to talk too much about. But let's go ahead and quickly review the Descend Carnage really quickly. Mr. Brandon, this card, and just really quick so you guys can view, as you guys can see, these icons are on the right-hand side. So for those that are familiar with our gameplay, the armors would go on the left side, the Carnage will go on the right side of your hero. So now you'll be able to catch all your new upgrades that you'll get across the platform of your hero once you're in Carnage mode.
Now, so the first thing we're going to want to look at when we're looking at the Descend is the requirements to use this card. And that is going to be on the top left there, the 2/3. So what that essentially means is that when you go into a disadvantage, it was 3-on-3, or maybe you started the game out 2-on-3, whatever the case may be. Once you get into a 2-on-3 scenario, then you will be able to utilize this Carnage card. And if you look at the right, that's a visual of everything that it buffs for your hero that takes you from kind of being disadvantaged and kinds of, evens out the playing field, even though you're still down a player.
Yeah, so it helps level out the battle in combat. So essentially the way, just to kind of give a small overview, the way Carnage works is the game starts off with 3v3. If you start off 3v3, nobody has a Carnage advantage card, okay? If you're 3v3 and a player gets knocked out and now it's 2v3, the players that are the players that are 2 versus 3 at this point, that's where this card comes into play, and the players that are 2, both of them will engage their Carnage. And now they'll get these buffs that makes them a little bit stronger, giving them an even edge, or if not, potentially a higher edge to knock out one of the other players. Okay? That's essentially how the orientation of the game works. But like Brandon mentioned, you can choose to start the battle with just 2 of you guys fighting 3, and immediately the players that are underdog, or that are the under, are immediately starting off as the Carnage, if that makes any sense. So that's the game in a nutshell. Okay? So, what happens if it's 1 versus 3? This will be a double-sided card. You'll flip the card over, and then you'll go into a more raged Carnage Descent, which, as you notice, it'll actually icon let you know when to use it. It'll be a 1 versus 3 scenario, and then in that 1 versus 3 scenario, your character is really going to get massive buffs to help strengthen the character. So it's going to help strengthen that character, and it's going to make it like, I can't even explain how crazy this gets. We've tested this game mode many times, and the 1v3, I know a lot of people's like, man, 3 characters, 3 builds, they're going to decimate the one character. Man, you'll be surprised on how powerful the actual Carnage 1v3 really is, whether if you start off 1v3 or you ended up in 1v3. So keep in mind, in this scenario, just to kind of explain it a little bit more thorough, if it's 1v3 and you knock out a player in their team and it goes 1v2, you go back. So now you're going to be back in this state of Carnage, guys. Once you knock out another player, it'll be 1v1 and the Carnage card no longer exists. It's even playing field. You'll both be able to play. So anytime you're down, you're an underdog, a player, you're getting a Carnage edge. Okay, if that makes any sense. So if you're down 2 players versus 3 players, you're getting the maximum carnage, essentially. You're getting maximum carnage. That's not what it's listed as, but maybe that would have been kind of smart to list that maybe as a maximum carnage. That would have been something kind of wicked. But yeah. So that's essentially how that works.
We'd have to use a different term. We can't be infringing.
Oh yeah,
on
we
Marvel.
can't use that, right? That's Marvel. I think we're
Can't
dabbling into
infringe-
Marvel there,
can't
right?
Infringe on them.
Yeah, dang, yeah. So we can't use maximum carnage. But I guess there's a reason why we didn't use it.
Carnage to the maximum.
Carnage to the maximum. There you go. That sounds like a maximal.
There you go.
So, yeah. So as you guys can see, this is the way the Carnage cards are going to work. We do have a Sentinel card we're going to show you guys really quickly. So this here is the actual Sentinel card. So with the Sentinel card, it's the Apocalypse. Same concept, guys. It's a 2v3 versus scenario. This is exclusive to the Sentinels only. So the Sentinels will be able to use the neutral, or they'll be able to use their exclusive card that pertains to them specifically. So you'll have your, they get +1 kinetic damage to all their weaponry. They'll get +1 targeting to all their weaponry. They're going to gain a +2 shield recovery, which we know that Sentinels struggle with shield recovery. And then, of course, they're going to get 1 instant damage mitigation every hit. So they're like they like get instant armor, essentially. They're going to be mitigating 1. So if they apply this with armor and shields, man, they're going to be mitigating demons. They're going to be mitigating a whole lot unless you use specific weapons that can help offset that. So with that being said,
know, is there any 1/2 cards for?
What do you mean 1/2? I'm confused.
What's
1
the
versus
2
2?
3. 1 versus 2.
1 versus 2 effect. 1 versus 2. Actually, that'll end up being these cards. Wow, you know what? I didn't even think about that. The 1 versus 2. Too fluent. Thank you for that. That curveball there, man. You know what? What was it? I gotta take a look at the rules. I gotta take a look at the rule books.
We do have.
Because I think we did have this scenario.
Use it.
I think we did have this scenario. It's just written in the rules. I think the rule book has that scenario base. I believe you may use the 2 versus 3. We'll have to take a look at the rule book, brother. It's still a polishing game that we're in the works with. But yeah, we'll definitely take a look and we'll circle that around and we'll go ahead and make sure we get an update on the community for that. But thanks for that question, man. That was a really good question. But yeah, so essentially you should still get the edge. You should technically get the edge as the 2v3 as the 1v2 because as you're down 1, you're still down 1 player. So essentially it should be down 1 player. So if you're down 1 player, you're 3v2, you lose a player, you'll be maximum. They lose a player, you're back down to the essentially 2v3. So we may have to either word that or put another bubble to the 2v3 area.
Maybe we just change the icon or something instead of 2-3 would make it down 1.
Down 1 player. Yeah, maybe we'll just alter the icons to reflect down 1 hero or down 1 player.
Yeah, down 1 player.
Down 1 player.
Down 2 players.
2v3s. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and make sure we can do that. Get that worked out.
What if you're down 3 players, Charlie?
What if you're down 3 players? I think they call that game over. I could be wrong.
You're not gonna make a card for that one.
I mean, we can. You could probably put
a big giant you lose card.
Well, actually, I don't know because in the I might be making a spoiler alert, but I mean in the arc set, there's going to be a possibility that you can come back with a little.
Or maybe a second play card.
I could be wrong, right, Jason? I don't know. I could be wrong. Or a second play card, yeah.
Listen, man, you love to spill the beans, man. There's so many beans being spilled from you.
Yep.
We're gonna run out.
All right, and then of course the last part of it is going to be the rage card. This here actually puts them in some severe rage, and these cards here will have, of course, the apocalypse. It'll have sentinels like really maximize where their kind of weak points are, but what they specialize into too. Maximum targetage, maximum damage, good shield recovery because they're not the greatest shield recoverers, and of course, damage mitigation is just insane with these guys. It's going to be very hard to take out an apocalyptic sentinel. These guys here are just pretty ruthless. So, any questions? We appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching this on a later stream, on a later date, you guys can feel free to leave questions on our Discord, YouTube, I think our Twitch channels or whatever. We'll go ahead and try to reply. I know that these here updates are, we are working pretty, aggressively in the back end, guys. Trust me when I tell you, we're working tirelessly, and I'm going to be 100% brutally honest. I've been dabbling a little bit with 3D modeling. So hint, hint, that might be working on some other future expansions for modes that we've been
In
talking
other
about.
words, y'all might get a game balancer figurine maybe in the future.
Maybe with a beard this, I mean, you never know. You
Maybe
never
a
know.
game balancer emoji for your computer.
And for those that stuck around really quickly, we just want to talk about the tournament. Prize winning for tournament that we're putting together for that Stitch and Just 31 have been organizing for the Monster Bash set series. The winners that will be participating, that will be getting in there, will be earning a one-of-a-kind print foiled mat of the hero that was used during that event. They'll have a custom one print off of that actual mat. I believe they're going to get 100 store credit points within our website to be able to utilize to purchase items within our website. What was the other items, Jason? I feel like I'm forgetting something. The custom mat, the reward. Oh, I was missing something. A one-off print, a one-time print that we were doing a test print, a 3D print model of Saigon himself, guys. OG, for those that want to go and check this out. Let me go ahead and go into the big screen real quick. Solo cam. Bam! So Mr. Brandon was nice enough. Let me hold on. Maybe I gotta get.
We not in solo camp. Oh, there we go.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? Solo cam. Hold on. Let me get a white. There we go. Oh, hold on. I gotta get myself off the screen, man. There's too many megapixels here. Wham, wham, bam. We got a one-off.
You need a better graphical card, bro. That's what it is.
Whoa! It's still picking me up, isn't it? Hold on. Is he in focus now, or is it still me?
No, you got to do like the Muppets when you put your head out of the screen.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Let me get out of the screen there. But I can't see. Can I see? Hold on. I can't see. Oh, wait. Hold on. I can see.
Oh yeah, there you go. It was looking good.
Let me get completely off the screen. Bam. There we go. Now I can see. All right. Oh shoot, my mic.
Your head is too big. It's taking up the focus.
You better stop it, Brandon. You see this? Man, listen, guys, I'm taking on new friends.
Listen,
I'm rebooting.
Don't call Charlie a ventriloquist. He don't know. He
all
don't
right,
know
so
that.
just so you guys can see this, we do got Saigon in all his glory. I'm gonna back him up a little bit just so you guys can see it. This is a 3D print of Saigon. This here will have the dimensional bottom floor. It'll have his base. It's gonna be a raw 3D print that you guys will also get for the prize winnings. This was a test print that we ran of Saigon. The actual detail is phenomenal, guys. You can feel free to take this and print it, do with it what you will. But this here will be the Monster Bash tournament prize winning first place. And guys, it is in sections, so I can actually pull Saigon off. We could pull the energy piece off. You guys can go on and paint them separately if you want to. You guys can paint the baseboard. You guys can assemble it back in place. They do have the drilled holes where where Saigon will be able to get himself back into. The actual board out bottom parts are here off to the side. And then you guys just go on and place him back into his actual D-Rift. And you guys got yourself a statue here of Saigon, man. Nice little statue going to put on top of your stuff there. So Mr. Brandon went on ahead and made sure that he got you guys covered during this tournament here. So that is actually going to be the #1 prize winner. Again, we'll get with Stitch and Justin to make sure that we can get the updates for you guys on that tournament organization. So for you guys that do have Monster Bash, we still, I believe Nerdy Needs may still have a few packs. If you guys are in the local area, you guys can get yourself a few more packs there. But if you guys are ready to rock steady, make sure you got your decks together, guys. We're going to go and have that tournament shortly.
Yes.
So without further ado, we don't want to take up any more of anybody's time. Hopefully do we have any more questions we need to answer before we break out, Mr. Jason? Or does everything seem pretty steady?
Everything seems good to go.
All right, that's what's good. For those that are watching later, go ahead and feel free to comment at the bottom or just catch us on our Discord, guys. I know it's been a little bit silent, but we are listening. We are paying attention. We haven't been able to respond much more frequently because, again, like I told you guys, we are working. So we'll make sure that we get this, guys, up to date. We'll fill you guys with updates. Hopefully soon we can get this tournament up and running. I know a lot of you guys have been DMing us about the updates on that. And again, our community has been helping organize that together, getting it together with Jose, getting the .io site linked. We want to try to get everything organizing through there. This is kind of what's setting us back and what's been setting us back because Jose's been needing to contact them to make sure that the people that want to host it are able to host the tournaments through there and able to run it through a process. So once we get the process, we're working the kinks out. Once it's all steady, we'll make the announcement and get you guys registered. So again, guys, join 100% free, man. Just make sure you got yourself your decks ready to rock and roll, and we're going to get this tournament rocked out for you guys. All right. So, Without further ado,
Tell all
Mr.
your
Brandon,
friends
look
to
up. We
like
had a
our social pages.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all our social pages. Like the Discord, go follow that. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube. We do also stream this on YouTube and then post this on a podcast and onto YouTube for people who want to watch it and a reference back to it. We have over 2+ years of these updates. We were doing them once a weekly for about 2+ years. And now we just doing one the first Monday of every month. So you have a lot of information. You can go and see where we came from all the way to where we're at right now. Definitely something to look into if you're interested in the project and what we've been doing.
Yeah, and believe it or not, us going monthly actually been helping with productivity as far as us being able to get more things done. So it's been very, very helpful for us. So yeah, we appreciate everybody in our community. We appreciate you guys still sticking around. Trust me, we're not going nowhere, guys. I can't stress that. So I know it's been a little bit quiet, but believe me when I tell you guys, we are working. We're putting out all the promises that we made. We're going to be working on these game modes, working on the next game mode. And again, like I mentioned, I'm doing a little bit more studying so that way I can advance this to the next level for us. And by us, I mean us as a family here in the Vanquishers family. So we're going to go on and make sure we get this to the next level. That's ultimately the goal. So without further ado, we appreciate all you guys that tuned in tonight. We appreciate your guys' time because, again, like I say, every single time is the most important resource in this entire world, man. And you guys were willing to share some of that with us tonight to get these updates. So without further ado, we appreciate all you guys here, the whole Vanquishing team. Vanquishers,
Out, baby.
we are OU Tizzle. Appreciate all you guys
Out.
tonight. Let me go and make sure I get D-riffed out of here.
Throw up them V's.